Hey, hi friends, welcome back to another Tesla stock weekly analysis. And as usual, let's start with the charts, then move on to the relevant news. This was a stock chart which I drew last week, and I actually separated this whole thing into three different colors: the blue section, the yellow, and the green. So just to summarize quickly, what happened last week was that if you bought the shares at the blue zone here, I don't think it will ever come back here ever again. So that's what I said last week. And if you bought the shares currently now at the yellow zone, it's pretty good and it's a very discounted price. It's cheap. If it's within here, please buy it. And I was saying that the green zone here is a normal zone where this is where I think Tesla should be around this zone in the first place. So how did I draw these three zones? It's determined by this long red line I have over here. So how did I come out of this long red line here is through the past resistance of the stock where it tried to, go up but it couldn't go up. So the moment the stock bust through this line here, it's created another zone for the buy of Tesla. So this was how I drew this blue line here, is because there was a big gap upwards and this kind of created another whole zone altogether. So basically what happens was when this whole recession hit, this whole crisis hit, Tesla stock dropped below to this cheap area. You notice that it didn't really go into the blue zone that much. It's because this support line here, it is a very strong support line. This support line, if it's very hard to be broken. So if it ever goes below here, as I was saying in my previous video, if it comes about $300, I'm going to sell away my house to buy Tesla stock. Anyway, I don't think we will see this section here for a long time. So anyway, I want to cover about last week's video and what actually happened. I want to briefly talk about last week and what actually happened. So when I actually posted this stock here, I posted the video about this time here, and hours later when the stock market opened, the stock shoot past everything and it went above to the green zone here. I initiated a position here at $709, and I also fill in as many comments below answering my last week's video that I bought at 709, I bought at 709. I told many people I bought 709 in my comments section below. Because when you see such a big bullish move upwards, you do not want to bet against the trend. So for now, what I see is the stock is going to hover around the green area here. So do note that the earnings is coming soon, and earnings usually cause big spikes in Tesla stock. If there were a spike downwards, I foresee this blue line as a support. But looking at Tesla's numbers, people are kind of already priced in for the good of Tesla. So I foresee Tesla stock price remaining in the green zone. Again, I'd like to remind everybody, once you buy the stock, do not sell. The biggest mistake you will make as an investor is actually selling thinking that you can make profit in the short run, you wait for the down movement. Actually, over the long term, you miss a lot of opportunities. I'm done with the charts. I would really appreciate if you help me click the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps out in the channel a lot. Also, in 2 days, I'll talk about what I think about the next double dip everybody is talking about. So do watch out for it. Okay, so now to the news. I love third row Tesla. Recently, they managed to get Elon Musk to speak on a podcast again. So if you miss it, I'll link it down below. I'll highlight 2 important points brought up. Okay, so the first point is the way the Model Y heating element works is revolutionary and have never been done before. Traditionally, heating elements look something like this, okay? But the Model Y uses circuit heating. It looks something like this. As an engineer, this is what I think of when he mentioned circuit heating. It's much more energy efficient. That adds to the Model Y massive range efficiency. The second point is the Model Y body, the frame of the body and the structure of it. By the end of the year, Tesla will cast a very big part of the Model Y. This effectively reduces the production line by 30%. 30% compounded gains over the long term, it is massive. So Tesla is moving so fast, pulling further away from the competition. Next on the news, a lot of investors keep trying to make sense of Tesla's stock price. Sometimes it goes up $100 a day, sometimes it goes down $100 per day. It is crazy and moves for no reason at all. Just like last week, after I posted the video. So Jonas of Morgan Stanley mentioned something which finally kind of answered my question and most questions investors have. I have many years of experience in investing. I've seen tons of charts. But I mentioned this in several videos. Tesla stock movement is the hardest to predict. So this was what he said on the 15th of April. our own efforts to investigate exactly where the volume comes from. Retail, that means retail investors like us. Institutional means the hedge funds and big funds out there. Index, that means the indexes, people who buy into the tracking the index. Quant means like algorithm trading, options volume hedging, etc. The whole thing. Everybody at in Morgan Stanley, they were all looking into this, have proven in many ways to be opaque and frankly inconclusive, means they actually don't know what's happening. It seems to us that to a degree, the trading of Tesla shares has been driven by factors that go beyond the fundamentals, influencing an electric car or even a technological company. So you see, if Adam Jonas or like Morgan Stanley or big financial institutions with lots of tools is mystified by what's going on with the trading of Tesla stock, do you think it's like any time for you to kind of like always try to time the market? I certainly don't think so. Next on the news, and this is probably the most important coverage this week and perhaps for a long time, Tesla's market share. So Cathy Wood, we all know who she is. I'll play you a short clip and we will go into more detail on this.
Right. And I think the traditional auto industry is in a heap of trouble here. And because of that, we're seeing them scale back on investment spending, including on electric vehicles, which they really shouldn't be doing that because that is the new world.
I'll link the clip below. Traditional autos are in trouble. I did a video on that previously and I'll put the link up here and down below too. As traditional auto cut spending to save business, they will cut research and development into electric vehicles, thus extending the lead of Tesla. Cathy Wood mentioned that at first she wasn't so sure if they will maintain market share, but now she is sure they will increase market share. So at this point, I want to bring up some numbers. These numbers are from various sources, some are paid sources, but I'll just summarize the whole thing for you. You see, in 2019, Tesla had a global market share of 17%. So 14% belong to the Model 3 and the remainder go to the S and X. Because Q1 is just over, the data is pretty all over the place and I tried to compile from my paid subscription at evvolumes.com. During this crisis where everybody's sales drop, I think Tesla's lead has increased from 17% to about 28%. Okay, again, these numbers are really rough, but hello, 17% to 28% market share, that is crazy. During this pandemic, you will think global EV sales will drop with huge disruptions to the global economy. But in February, global EV sales increased by 16%. See, though China was down like 65%, Europe was up like 110%. There's this massive movement towards electric vehicles. The momentum has just started, and believe me when I tell you this, just like how the pandemic hit us, one day you will wake up, see Tesla share at 10,000, you're like, what just happened? Yes, this is exactly what happened. There are some articles about oil prices that will cause a fall in sale of electric vehicles. Of course, these articles are published by oil money. It's oilprice.com. Even at such low prices now, running an EV is still cheaper. See, lesser maintenance, lesser moving parts, cheaper cost of power. So there is literally no debate on this. By the way, today as of making this video, the oil futures is down 20%. I have no doubt oil will go below $10 per barrel. This is not my first time mentioning this, but I'd like to thank every single one of you watching this video. You see, we are generally more like oil haters, and we will go the extra mile to be greener. So every little effort counts, like one less plastic bag, one less straw, one less ICE car, so on and so forth. So I want to thank all of you so much, and together we can bring massive change to the world. Next on the news, look at this video. China Tesla started to build up Model Y factory. It took Tesla less than a year to get the Model 3 up and running. So now we know for the Model Y, it's going to be less than a year and they will get the factory up and running again. So I'll link the video below. Next, plenty of upgrades from analysts despite the crisis we are in. So we have an upgrade from Goldman Sachs and we also have an upgrade from Credit Suisse. It's going to be like a vicious cycle up. Stocks goes up, other analysts don't want to kind of look stupid and they will kind of after that upgrade their target also. So it's a vicious cycle. The stock goes up, analysts upgrade, stock goes up, analysts upgrade. So it's going to be a positive cycle upwards from what I see so far. I saved my favorite news for the last. Last week, I just did a video on Tesla's autopilot last week. I'll link it down below and also put it up here. The moment I did that, Elon tweeted this. The car is going to park itself and is within this year. Holy cow! Think about it. Imagine your car drives you, you drive yourself to a shopping mall and you just click on the app, okay, go and park. The car automatically go and park itself. Do you know how mind-blowing that kind of future looks like? I really can't wait for the amazing future that Tesla has in stock for all of us. So concluding this video, Tesla's stock price, in my opinion, will remain in the green region of the stock chart. However, do note that earnings usually cause a spike in stock prices. Personally, most of you know by now, I'm a stubborn long. I buy the share and I will not sell even if it goes very, very high. I add when it's cheaper. My strategy is as simple as that, and you'll probably outperform every other kind of investor. Again, I appreciate those who help me like the video. Every like really counts and contributes to this channel. Thank you so much, and as always, invest, save, take care.